In this video, I'm going to show you the fastest path to go from $0 online to consistent 3 to 10K months. So if you are a new or aspiring online coach, healer, creator who is really wanting to go full-time online, doing what you love, then this video is for you. Working on building my coaching business for the past 3 years, and it wasn't until this year that I actually unlocked the secret sauce to making this work, and it was a really frustrating journey, to be quite honest. And so what I've been doing is just observing the top creators and like Skool community creators, coaches on the Skool games, and kind of seeing the patterns, seeing what they're doing and implementing what I've been learning, and it's been working. And so I'm just really excited to share this is a brand new strategy for you, because I've seen how fast it can work myself and for a lot of the people who are making over $100,000 a month on Skool right this very second. Just a disclaimer, okay? I don't know if anybody told you this, but business is actually work. It's a lot of work. I thought for the longest time I was working full-time in a sales job, and when I came home, I was so exhausted. I couldn't even imagine doing anything for my coaching business, and it was really hard. So what happened was, earlier this year, I decided to start going live on TikTok every single morning before I went out to work. And then I came across this membership program that broke down this whole system for me. And what I've realized is, even though it's a lot of work, it is so fulfilling to actually see it work and to see my clients creating their communities and having success. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. So it is not for the lazy. Yes, you will have to work harder than you've ever worked. You're going to have to say no to a lot of things. This isn't for those with a fixed mindset. You might have an idea of what it takes to make $3,000 to $10,000 online, but this isn't something that you've seen before. So if you're not open to new ideas, willing to do the work, it's not going to do anything for you. And also, you have to be willing to do the work over a period of time. Now, this is the fastest way I've seen to start making those $10,000 months, and it can happen in like as little as a few weeks, like 30 days. But you're going to have to show up for it. And this is absolutely the fastest way to go full-time doing what you love. And so what I've done is taken the top creators that I follow and kind of synthesized all the information into this presentation that I'm going to continue to build upon. But the coaches and the creators who start bringing their people, their audience off platform and bringing them into their own community are going to be ahead of the curve here. Communities are the next thing in e-learning. I truly believe that, because it's so powerful. It's bigger than you. You'll start seeing like members are helping members, and it's just really freaking fun. But yes, you're gonna have to work with people a lot, and a lot of times they're not gonna do what you want them to do. And that's a whole other video, but it's just incredible. And the reason I know this works is because I've done it. I've seen this guy go from government welfare to $7,600 in a single month. I've seen Andrew Kirby do this, who took 6 different businesses from 0 to 10K months, and then 2 businesses from 0 to 100K months. And then also this guy Hamza, who had an audience, but he hadn't monetized it. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people with a huge audience are actually not making any money. It's the broke influencer syndrome. Like, people could have these huge audiences and it doesn't mean they're making any money. So don't feel like because you don't have an audience, you're already behind. Like, actually, if you're just starting from 0 to build your audience, this is the best time to start thinking about monetization, because you have to build it the right way. You need the right audience. So if you build this huge audience and then you have never thought about monetization, you're going to find yourself as a broke influencer. I know a lot of them personally. I had no idea. I used to think, for real, I thought that. Turns out it's not true. I had no idea. So right now, the current business landscape, I don't know if you can relate to this or if you find yourself in this situation, but there is like so much information available. There's so much information on the internet. And what's crazy is a lot of it is really good information. And what will happen was you might find yourself implementing certain strategies from different people and then figure out that they're not working for you because you didn't execute them correctly. You guys have different experiences, different goals. And like, that's what I've really realized, which is why I decided to include human design inside my paid community so that I could give my clients a foundation to make aligned business decisions and not end up like burnt out and frustrated, not understanding why they aren't getting where they want to go. And then another thing is people think that they have to have a huge audience before they can monetize. So you spend a ton of time creating all this content and you're like really proud of yourself that you've got to 1,000 followers, 10,000, 100,000 followers, but you're not actually making any money, which is a very common belief. Then the problem is that people feel like they're just not good enough. Like they feel like they just don't have what it takes. And I see this time and time again with my clients, love them so much that there's so much imposter syndrome, not good enough, lack of self-love, lack of just belief in yourself because this is just something new. And I actually don't like to call it imposter syndrome because it's not that you're an imposter, you're just a beginner. How can you feel confident about something that you've never done? Like you weren't confident in your ability to walk when you were little, but you still kept doing it. You didn't walk the first time you tried, but you like kept getting up, kept falling down, and then you kept with it. That's what separates the best from the rest. I can just tell you that right now. I promise to you. And I don't know if you can relate to this at all, but it's so frustrating to be stuck in a job, in a situation where you see all these people making it work. They're making money online. They're doing something they love, and it's just not working for you. People think you're weird. At least my family, I feel like my family thought I was so weird. And it was like, I had been trying to get this coaching thing off the ground for so long. And then every time we'd have a family holiday, I would go to visit my aunt. They would like kind of ask me about it. And I'd be like, oh, I got like this many views on my TikTok. And they'd be like, that's so great, honey. And like, you could tell I felt like they just thought I was a joke. I really did. It was very demoralizing. And it's just so painful to know that you have more potential inside and you're not knowing how to access it and how to actually get where you want to go. And then, of course, there is no guarantee that it'll work for you. You might be putting in the hours to learn something or create content and create these connections, and you're not seeing the results. So it's just physically painful to know that there's nothing in the like laws of physics or the universe that's preventing you from making it full time as an online coach and not being able to do it. It feels like there's something blocking you, but the only thing that's blocking you from this is yourself. And if you can understand that, you'll be able to move forward and see the results that you want because it's coming from a place of total responsibility, dedication, willingness, open-mindedness. Learning in itself is painful because you have to admit that you don't know everything and be willing to suck at it at first. People look at me and they're like, Amanda, like, I don't understand how you do it all. Like, your videos are so good. And like, I look at them and I'm like, really? It's an ongoing evolution and process. So I wanted to go through, there are 4 ways that people are monetizing or trying to monetize, which just means making money from. There's 4 ways that people are trying to make money online. These are the ones that I have tried and that I asked my clients what they were doing, and this seems to be it, okay? So number 1 is content. You're creating content and putting it on the internet, which is good. But if you've been doing that and you're not getting clients or you're not getting paid, we'll break that down in a second. The second way that people are trying to monetize or make money online is through communities, like paid membership communities. Then we have coaching and services. And choosing the right one at this point is going to be the highest leverage decision that you make from this point forward, because whichever one you choose is going to determine the trajectory and the results that you're going to see over the next coming weeks, months, and years. So we want to make the right decision, right? I want you to make the right decision. Okay, so the first one we have is content. So a lot of people think that they have to build their audience before they can monetize. And what's crazy is I work with clients, it doesn't really matter how big your following is. And this took me a really long time to understand. Like, I felt like I was working so hard for TikTok to make this content, and for why? So I tried making content for a year. It was really over a year, and I made exactly no money. I got a few clients, but it wasn't from my content. It was like people I knew in my network. And so the problem with content is you commit months and years of your life, but you're not making anything. And if you don't figure out how you're going to monetize first, then you'll build the wrong audience who isn't going to want to end up buying from you, unfortunately. It's crazy. I swear to God, I thought all influencers were loaded. I know that might seem really naive, but I did. I was like, well, they've got like 300,000 followers, 1 million followers, and they're not making money? Like, why? I didn't understand it. But then here I was with my few followers. I wasn't making money either. So clearly there's something we were missing. The other thing with content is it's hard. It's hard to just commit so much of your time to making content, especially if you're not a full-time creator. Because if you're just part-time, you actually have another job that you're doing to pay the bills, then you really can't compete with full-time creators who are able to dedicate so much of their time to creating content. So, right, if my goal was to go full-time online as an online coach, I would not pick content as the vehicle. I did try. It was not for lack of trying. Okay, so now the second way that you can make money online or monetize would be paid communities, and courses. When we're looking at this, there are 4 different buckets that this can fall into, okay? So the first one would be do it yourself, which is where someone creates a course, it's sold like by itself, and it's just like information packaged on the internet. So do it yourself would be courses and content. Then you have done for you, which would be like you have done for you group coaching. Done with you group coaching, meaning you're doing some of the work with them. Like they're responsible for their part and you're responsible for helping them get there. And then you've got done with you one-on-one coaching. Yes, done on you one-on-one coaching where you're working with them one-on-one to help them get the result that they want to experience in their life. And then you've got done for you, which would be a service like ads or, leads or whatever. It would be like a business that does the work for you. Okay? And so naturally, I thought after I didn't make any money with content, I started to make courses. I wanted to make courses because I was like, well, this is good because I don't really have that much time. So I'm going to make a course and I'm going to sell it because of course people are going to want to buy it. And then I won't have to trade my time for money and I'll just do this course. And I wish I could show y'all all the courses I've made. I've made so many courses. Okay? I've taken so many courses. I did Amy Porterfield's couple of her courses. I've gone through and made so many courses, and the issue that I experienced with that is I made this course, I think it was called How to Be the Boss of Your Own Life, whether you work for someone else or not. I made this course, I put it into Thrivecart, I made my whole landing page using, was it Samcart? I think so, Samcart. And I announced it maybe once or twice, no one bought it, and I was like, why? I don't understand. Like I had put so much work into making this course. So I made it, and over that year, this was last year, I made a total of $97 from that course. I sold exactly one, and I think it was like one of my friends. Okay, so in terms of scalability, so this is, okay, the reason I made the course is because I was like, well, that's really cool because I could just sell this course and people are going to buy it and I'll make money from it and I won't have to trade my time for money because I didn't have any time. I felt like I had no time because I was working full time and I just didn't want to have to rely just on one-on-one clients because I was like, I just didn't feel like it could pay the bills. And the problem is I was thinking about scalability before I even had clients. So in terms of if we're going through these 4 ways to monetize, which is do it yourself, done with you group, done with you one-on-one, and then done for you services, courses are the most scalable, meaning you make it one time and then you sell it over and over and over again. Done for you, a service, is the least scalable, meaning you're doing all the work for them, so it's going to be really hard. Like after you'll run out of time. And then in terms of what's easiest versus hardest to sell, so courses are actually the hardest to sell because you don't have any street cred yet. People don't believe that you can actually help them. They might not even know who you are. And courses also give the least ROI, at least at the beginning. I mean, for the customer. Because what happens is if you make a course before actually working with a number of people to get them the result, that course is never going to be what it actually needs to be in order to get them the result. What you think they need and what they actually need turn out to be 2 separate things. And I thought that I knew. I was like, well, I did some market research and I put together this course, and I've made like probably 5 or 6 courses before I sold a single one. Because why would they buy it from me? I didn't really know what they needed and wanted. I thought I did. And then done for you service, it's easiest to sell a service. And you can see this by there's millions of different service providers. And then as far as people making money from courses, by themselves, it's probably 100,000, maybe less. I don't know. There's so many more people who go to a job every day to do a service. Imagine it'd be like you're an accountant, right? And your boss is paying you to be an accountant. And then one day you're like, well, I don't want to be an accountant anymore. I'm going to make this course. Why don't you buy that and then you can do it yourself? They're going to be like, fuck you. No, I hired you to do this work. You do it yourself. That's the whole point. And yeah, so the problem is it's really hard for a beginner to sell a course because nobody really trusts you. They don't know that you can actually help them yet. And how do they know that you can actually help them unless you actually help them? And you spend so much time and energy making a course that no one buys, and I just don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. I did it, so you don't have to. So if your goal is to go from $0 to consistent $3,000 to $10,000 months, courses are going to take so long because nobody wants to buy that course from you yet. So if your goal, this is why it all comes back to your goal, what you actually want. If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, a course is not going to be the best vehicle to get you there, in my own experience and the experiences of these creators that I've been following. And I already told you about the accountability. And what happens is a lot of coaches are so worried about scalability before they've even gotten the result for enough people to really put together a course that's going to be super valuable. So the problem isn't scalability, is that nobody wants to buy your stuff, or at least nobody wants to buy $10,000 worth of your stuff. Not yet, but they will. So just to recap my experience in this arena, okay, I made content for over a year. I made no money, none, $0. And I spent so much time making it. I spent so much time making all this content and didn't really have anything to show for it. It's I felt like I was doing something. I was every time I got followers, I'd be so excited, but nothing was actually happening in terms of my bank account, which was really the purpose, Then I did the course. I made my course. This was just my first course. That took me a year. I made $97. With coaching plus community, doing hybrid coaching plus community, within 3 months, I had made $8,000. $8,962 to be exact. And I think it's a little bit more than that because that doesn't count affiliates. So I just want to share this with you. These are real numbers so you can kind of get a feel for what might be the best decision for you. So the fastest way to go from $0 to consistent $3,000 to $10,000 months is to offer one-to-one coaching inside of a community. And so what I have done is offered a hybrid of one-to-one and group coaching inside of a community, and that's actually worked really well for me, and I've seen it working for pretty much all the other people who've won the Skool games. And what's crazy is a lot of those people who've won the Skool games didn't start with a huge audience. And just to show you this, so Skool games is a fun, easy way to start your online business for like total beginners. This is just showing the leaderboard for July. They track the monthly recurring revenue, and so this is for July. So we've got YouTube Magnets, High Ticket Academy, Impact Stationary Creators. She went to 16,000 a month. And when you join Skool, you're actually able to attend these Skool game calls and get training from Alex Ramosi and Andrew Kirby, which is like amazing. And so that being said, the problem with one-to-one coaching is that when you're just starting out, like, you get ignored because nobody knows who you are. Nobody trusts you. You don't have the street cred. You're not an expert yet. And there's no easy way to sell one-on-one coaching just like from the internet. And also, of course, it's hard to scale. You only have so much time, but when you're just starting out, like, that, it doesn't matter because you're not at the point of scaling. And I want you to build the course the right way that's actually going to be super valuable for your people. So there is a path to quickly get attention, build trust, build expertise, and an easy way to sell. Do you think that if you had attention, trust, expertise, and an easy way to sell one-on-one coaching, that you would be able to do it? Well, what is so cool, and this is why this is a brand new strategy, is because Skool just unlocked this feature that I'm going to tell you about in a second. But first, I want to share with you this strategy of starting a free Skool community. It's the easiest thing in the world. You get a free 14-day trial, but what it's going to do is it solves the biggest problems that beginners have. It helps you get attention. It's the easiest way to get attention because you've started a community on a topic that you care about, and you can start inviting people into this community immediately. And because you're the one who made this community, you immediately start to get seen as an expert in your field. It builds authority. It gets attention. Think about the difference between having a free Skool community on a niche or this type of person that you solve versus just being on social media, like reaching out to people that you want to work with, trying to get them to book one-on-one calls with you when you don't have any authority. Like, they don't know you from anybody. There's people who say anything on social media. You know how it is. So yeah, it allows you to become an expert, and it also really helps you figure out what to sell. I had such a problem with this. I was like, I've made so many offers, so many courses, and they were all built around things that I thought were valuable and that I would have wanted, but they weren't built on actual hardcore evidence and feedback. And so what's so cool about Skool is you start your free Skool community inside this topic. If you already kind of know what your topic is, like, that's great. And it can change and it can evolve. But the thing is, like, what you decide to sell at first before actually talking with anybody and what you actually end up selling in terms of a course are two very different things. Because after a while, you start to talk to enough people and you realize what they're actually struggling with and what they really need and what they really want. And then you're positioned perfectly to put together an offer that you can offer to them in exchange for their money, and people are like, well, fuck yeah, like, that's exactly what I needed. So, and I'm going to tell you about this feature in a second. So yeah, you start to become an expert. Like, you could pick it on a topic that you don't know that much about yet, but you're going to learn so much about it just by interacting with your members and staying up to date on industry trends. And like, overwhelm and action cannot coexist. So if you're overwhelmed by starting your Skool community and you just like don't know what it should be, or like you don't know how to start your online coaching business, you're making content and it's not working, or like you're struggling because you don't really want to have to make all this content because what does this content have to do with my value as a coach? I don't know if you've ever been through that. I did. I was like, well, I'm a great coach. Why do I have to create all this content? Because I wasn't getting anything back from the content. So if you're in that kind of vibe, if that's how you feel, then a Skool community can help solve all of those problems. And you can build it very quickly. So the fastest path to go from $0 online to consistent $3,000 to $10,000 months is we do warm outreach. You reach out to people you know, you create content, and you post inside other groups that have a similar audience, not promoting yourself, but just actually adding value. You send them to your free school because it's really easy to give something away for free, and you're going to be reaching out and surrounding yourself with people who are interested in this thing. Then you strike up a conversation, you start talking to these people inside your school, you reach out in the DMs. If they're a good fit, you get them on a call, and then you see if you guys are a good fit for each other. And then inside the call, you're able to sell anything from a $9.97 to a $29.97 offer, a one-time payment, which that's the new thing that just got unlocked. Let me show you what I mean. So this is my free school. I can just start a new course, and then I can click buy now. One-time purchase price, $9.97. And if you want to charge more than that, you can put your Stripe link in there and people can choose to buy it. And that is how you make your course. You start working with people one-on-one. You bring people into your free community. You start building relationships, building connections, talking to these people, finding out what they actually need and want. Then you put together a one-time coaching offer for them that they can purchase one time, which is so much easier to sell than an ongoing membership when people don't really know you. And then after you start to say the same things over and over and over again, you realize like, oh, this is a pattern. I can systematize this. I can put this together and record a video on it and put it together as a lesson so that I don't have to keep repeating myself. And then when you start to run out of time doing this, and what I do is like, it's a hybrid of one-on-one and group coaching. And you can do that too. It doesn't have to be all one-on-one, but my point here is when I realized this, that it's so much easier to sell a one-time offer, and you can charge more for it because it's a single payment versus an ongoing membership. And if you use Stripe will finance it for you, meaning like someone can pay over time and you get paid immediately, and Stripe just does that automatically. So it's so much easier to sell because people feel more certain that they're going to get the result because you're going to be helping them with it individually. And you can either just sell the one-off, the one ticket, high value, one-time offers, or like in terms of one-on-one coaching, or you could also include a group coaching component in there. It's really up to you. The sky is the limit. But my advice to you is don't make a course before you've done this. You want to get signal before sale, because you can spend months and months and months making a course and then find out that no one really wants to buy it, or that people start to come into the course and they really don't need that. They needed something totally different. So if you want to start your free school, I'll put my link down here at the bottom, but you can join the Skool games. You can get a 14-day free trial. And what you'll get is all the tools that you need to go full-time on as an online coach. You don't need any other software. We're doing it on one platform. You're going to get weekly free Q&A or A&Q calls with me. Andrew Kirby and Alex Hormozy have a weekly Q&A that's free that you can join. I get so much value from that. He's got a whole Skool course about how to pick your niche, name your program, get your first 100 members. I mean, and all of that is free inside the Skool games when you sign up for your school. Then I have inside my free thing, I have a free Find Your Online Persona with Human Design that you can use to figure out what your purpose is, who your ideal clients are, how to shine online, how to show up and as an authority, as an expert, and with confidence in your field. It's all free. And then you get monthly mastermind calls with Andrew Kirby, Hormozy, and Sam Ovens. So if you are ready to start your free school so that you can go full-time and start making $3,000 to $10,000 every single month, then you can use this link or go to skool.com/magicmission to sign up for your free school. And if you do sign up for your school using my affiliate link, I also give you a free one-to-one business strategy session where we will together go through your entire attract, convert, deliver strategy for your free Skool community. So I hope this was helpful. Drop any questions you have in the comments. Let me know if this made sense, if you're still not sure about this. And in the next videos, you can expect insights, and I'm going to help guide you through the process of creating your community, how to grow your community, how to launch your program, and how to create pent-up demand for a program that you haven't made yet. It's going to be so exciting. Mwah! I love you.